同學，今次我們將會學習 Types of reading questions in past papers. Concept: Types of reading questions in past papers. Knowing the question type is the first step to success with Paper 1. We will study the HKDSE 2015 Paper 1 to practice the new types of reading questions. 在過去的2015年試卷閱讀題類型 In these few years, candidates have written tests of varying names and levels of difficulty. Different question types including multiple choice items, short responses, and more extended open-ended responses. Reading test. A range of test types will be used. 2015 HKDSE Interview script in Part A and continuous test, long continuous test. Reading passage Test 1 in From the Cold Among Warm-Hearted Koreans. This is an adapted version article in the SEMP on Korean entertainment culture. Test 1 is really quite difficult for Part A, but candidates should be familiar with this test type interview transcript. The interview structure may make it more readable and it's also easy to search through when answering questions. A few Korean terms are introduced in paragraph 4 of Test A. This paragraph is particularly challenging to get to grips with as the Korean words Jan, Han, and Hung relate to culture and national character archetypes. Candidates may be confused by the ideas and it may require 2 or 3 times of reading of that paragraph. Test types of reading paper. According to Appendix 4, page 151, English Language Curriculum and Assessment Guide, Secondary 4 to 6, the test types of reading can include editorials, newspaper articles, feature articles, excerpts from novels, short stories, poems, personal recounts, interviews, book reviews, reports, film reviews, etc., charts, advertisements, recipes, itineraries, timetables, etc. Skills should be assessed. Use linguistic and contextual clues to determine the meaning of the written text. Identify main and supporting ideas. Relate cause to effect. Understand and appreciate the tone, mood, and intention of the writer on his or her attitude. Identifying the meaning of words. 2015 HKDSE English Paper 1, Q27. What is the meaning of cannon in 9/11? 有些學生錯誤地猜測大炮 cannon 字係錯嘅。Only 4% of the candidates could answer this question. But the skill required was actually the use of contextual clues to identify the meaning of the word cannon and try to explain it. 利用上下文線索的識別 cannon 一字的意義。This was what the HKEAA explained as the clues. Canon 真作全集 not Canon camera. So what's the answer? Canon is a list of must-read books. Let's read the text concern. Paragraph 2 is the first English language book to cover the whole waterfront of South Korea society, historical, cultural, economic, social, political. Since one Miranda influential British expert, Michael Bean, which the Koreans, which was originally published in 1998 and revised in 24. Miss Bean provided a recommendation on Mr. Tutor's book jacket, Korea's The Impossible Country. It is also likely to get added to the list of must-read books by anyone from outside of South Korea who want to do business or live in the country. Paragraph 3. There's a small canon, unfortunately. In addition, Mr. Bean's book, the other indispensables are Diamond Dilemma by Tariq Hussein, Korean Dynasty by Donald Cook, Tom Coyle's Guide to Doing Business in Korea, and Robert Kohler's Soul Selection Guidebooks for Places and Sightseeing. Indeed, the list of must-read books about North Korea is far longer. There are multiple context clues to assist candidates here. First, that in the topic sentence refers to a list of must-read books in the previous paragraph. Second, an actual list of must-read books is given in the coming paragraph. The other indispensables is used to introduce this list. Third, the words the list of must-read books repeated at the end of the paragraph. Q27. What's the meaning of the canon in 9/11? So what's the answer? Canon is a list of must-read books. Task 1, HKDSE 2015, Q55. What does catch on in the title mean? Will cars without drivers catch on? Choice A, be finished. Choice B become safe. Choice C become better. Choice D become common. The answer is choice D become common. Q74. In the title, Young Minds in Critical Condition, what two implications does critical have in this context? 2 marks. First. Second. Answers. First, to think critically, to develop critical thinking skills, to criticize, to point out errors, to find contradictions, to show how things don't make sense, to take the guise of the sophisticated spectator. Second, the situation is quite serious. It is urgent. To be in danger, to be in dangerous situation, critical condition, that is important, serious. Reference question 相關問題 Some reference questions require you to find out the nouns to which pronouns refer. 一定的借鑑意義問題需要找出名詞。Passage Mr. Brown was never boring. He encouraged us to aspire to things we possibly hadn't thought of doing. He seldom used textbook in his English lessons, but chatted about his travels, wife, football, study skills, and other subjects in which we are interested. Questions. What does us refer to in line 33? The answer is students of Mr. Brown. Task HKDSE 2015 Q4. Who does they refer to in line 9? Let's read the conversation. You started, like so many other Westerners in Korea, teaching English. When did you begin writing about Korea and why? Reply. When I joined The Economist 2010 to 2013, I thought, eventually I'd like to write a book about Korea because nobody else is really doing it. But one day, reply, Korea is a bit off the radar for most people in Western countries. In the 1980s, Japan was the big story, and people pay attention to China now because of its huge population and market. Korea has fallen in between these two countries. Answering nobody else, or most people in general, or Koreans is wrong. Q4. Very tricky reference question. They here refers directly to nobody else, but that clearly isn't an acceptable answer. Candidates need to understand that what Daniel is really talking about is other writers. Also, the direct speech in the preceding line is in the present continuous tense, whereas the question that includes the reference word is in the past tense. 前行是直接引語中的現在進行，而問題是過去式，這使得考生必須設法發現語言語法上的答案。This makes it even tougher for candidates who don't immediately get the reference, have tried to work out the answer linguistically. Note: Field reading skills. Scanning, 掃描. Scanning is used when looking for a specific piece of information in a given text. Skimming, 略讀. Skimming, like scanning, is a quick type of reading, to learn the main points and larger selection of writing, rather than answer one specific question. The most straightforward way to skim a long passage is to read the entire first paragraph, the entire last paragraph, and read the first sentence of each additional paragraph in between. In so doing, candidates will be able to identify the major themes throughout the passage. Reading for detail, 詳細閱讀. Careful reading or reading for detail is probably the most commonly used reading strategy. This is a slower reading process that starts at the beginning of a passage and proceeds to the end. When reading for detail, students should read every sentence in the paragraph. If they read an answer to a particular question, they are often given a specific paragraph of line number. Tom's comments. Are you serious? $60,000 taken out in student loans for tuition, room, and board, and no prospect for a job. Better to stick to any STEM program in college, science, technology, engineering, maths. You can get the type of education discussed in the article, or even more, from your local library, with maybe $1.50 in late fines when you are finished. You really want to explore what it means to be human. Please, curate this article was written for the American Higher Education Readout Magazine. Q76. What is Tom Stan's short liberal education? Summarize his opinion in your own words. 4 marks. He opposes liberal education. He thinks it is too expensive and there is no prospect for a job. He thinks there is no need to get liberal education and it can be learned from local library, and it is just for the American higher education reform machine. This candidate could express the viewpoints clearly. Let's compare his answer with the marking scheme. Q76. He disagrees. Is strongly against it. Is strongly against liberal education because he thinks liberal education is not important, useless. He is opposed to the use of liberal education. 1 mark. It's just a waste of money, costly, it's expensive. It doesn't help you get a job. Low prospect or job opportunity, career, doesn't help your future. You can get the same or similar kind of education by reading books in the library, going to the library, self-study. They should study STEM subjects. It is better to study STEM subjects: science, technology, engineering, math. Any three in any order, 3 marks. Now, do the exercise to test yourself by exercise and answer. Complete the following by choosing the best answer. For DSE Q76, read test true for the answer.